Good morning, everyone. It's Jackie at Mountain Life Fitness. This is Monday, April 20th, 2020, and I am excited to present to you another new format. This is going to be known as Pilates on the ball. So we're going to be utilizing a stability ball. If you don't have access to one, you really cannot use a mini ball for this. It really has to be a stability ball. So if you're unable to utilize one, you can perform a huge portion of this without a stability ball. It pairs well with just probably 10, 15 different of the programs that we've been presenting to you recently, except for any of your Pilates Fusion or Mat Pilates Total Body. So consequently, you would use this in addition to other formats like functional strength and any of your circuits, but you really wouldn't be using this along with your other Pilates formats. You do it instead of rather than in addition to. Okay, so this is going to take, it's about a 30-35 minute format. We're going to move quickly from one exercise right to the next, and we're going to challenge all three planes of the body just like we do in any traditional program here at Mountain Life Fitness. So I'm going to have a couple of exercises right in the very beginning that will work as a warm-up, but basically you certainly can perform like this morning. We did a 3x3 circuit. That would be a great warm-up for this format. All right, guys, so we're going to come on down, and I'm going to use this ball, and I've got about a 55 centimeter ball here, and that's just because I'm a small person. They usually come in 65 and 75 centimeters, and you just want to make sure they're well inflated, and that you have a ball that's appropriate for your size of body, okay? So, and you can have your socks on and off, shoes on and off, but I'm doing this in bare feet. Those of you that know, when I teach Mat Pilates, generally I have my shoes on, and that's just because I'm teaching back-to-back formats. But here this morning, just because we're manipulating the ball with our feet, it's kind of good to just have your feet to work with on this. And of course, it could be Pilates socks as well, will work okay. So we're gonna start with what's called a frog. And again, you're gonna have those legs externally rotated here. We're going to walk our feet in so we're a little bit more on the downward slope of the ball so that we have enough range of motion. We're gonna push out, and then we're gonna flow back in through. So this is gonna really open up those hips for you. And you're gonna keep your navel pulled to spine. You wanna try to fully extend the legs, yeah? And we're not gonna spend a lot of time on any one exercise. 6-8 reps probably on each, yeah? Good, and a couple more. That's it, just opening up that hip. And then coming back to the center. And then the ball is gonna come over here, and you're gonna hold it. You're gonna put your feet on the floor and bring the ball up over your head. And all we're gonna do is some mobilization for the shoulder here. So I'm just gonna pull the ball up and down. The lower body's gonna stay still. And I'm just gonna work through a nice big flexion extension here at the shoulder, just to warm up that whole GH joint here. And let's lift up and down. So this isn't hard at all. It's just a nice way to warm that body up. Let's go 4, yeah, and 3. Good, 2, and once more. Good, and then come back up, and let's place that ball on the thighs. Now, if you need support for your head at any point, feel free to absolutely have a hand behind the head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl up and kind of push that ball along the tops of my thighs, getting a nice big flexion and a resisted extension there for rectus abdominis. Pulling pelvic floor up and navel pulled to spine. Exhale and inhale, press up and back, up and back, and one more time, up and back. Good. All right, and then let's place the heels on the ball. And these are going to be 100, so we just put those legs in tabletop. Again, you can always support the head. And we're going to compress the abdomen, and we're going to pump those arms. Inhale and exhale. That's it. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, and just one more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now take the ball and push it out so that the legs can extend. And then we will do exactly the same things. We'll come back up in 100s and we're going to pump. Inhale and exhale. That's it. From the shoulder and exhale, compressing abdomen. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale and exhale. Good. All right, well done. Okay, so we're going to take the ball around and perform a roll up here. So ball up over the head, and we're gonna peel off one vertebrae at a time, yes, and roll it back down. Articulate through the spine and peel off, yeah, good, and roll it back, good. Peel off and roll it all the way back. That's it. Coming through that scapulothoracic tends to be our sticking point. And really rolling up. Let's try a couple more of those. Now peel it off and back, and one more time. Peel it off and stay here. All right. Now we're going to come into a lean back and bring the ball up over the head. So we're going to move the ball. We're going to hold that 45-degree position. So you're really compressing the abdomen here. Lift up and down. Inhale and exhale. Up and back and lift. 4 to go. Compress abdomen. And 3. Good. 2 and one more and back, and then roll all the way back down. Bring the legs in tabletop and the arms up over the chest. We're going to perform a bicycle. So in and up and in. I'd like to see you add rotation to that. Yeah? So let's get moving that ball. Coming across and across. Compress abdomen. Good, and let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower down. All right, now heel drops are going to be performed here from the supine position. So I'm going to drop a heel and bring it back up, drop it down, and bring it back up, yeah? So drop down, hit the opposite shin, drop down, and then down and up. Head up if you're able. Yeah? Compress and compress. And it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Okay, guys. And so now, heels on the ball. And legs in tabletop position, and head and shoulders, arms up over the chest, and we're going to lift up and back, up and back. Exhale and inhale, compress and control. Up, use that breath, that's it. Lengthening, strengthening in core, couple more, up and back, and one more, up and back. Good job. All right, guys. So we're going to come up from this supine position into a V. And what we want to try to do is place the ball on our shins, and then we're going to be dislodging it. So this one's kind of fun. You're going to kick up and come down. Come back in, support, kick out, and down. Good. And back up, kick out, and down. Back up, kick out, and down. Good. And back up, kick out, and down, and back up. Couple more. Kick out, and down, and one more time. kick out, and down. Good job. Okay, ball between the ankles, okay? And those of you that have a bigger ball, this one's gonna be a little bit more challenging just because of the size of it and weight. They usually weigh about 2 to 3 pounds. Okay, all I'm gonna have you doing right here is compressing the ball, yeah? Squeeze it in. Work those hip adductors and in and out. Keep that ball over your hips here, in and out. Exhale and inhale. 4 to go. And it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Grab that ball, put it aside, and rock and roll on up. Okay, seated position. This is going to be a little bit more about lengthening. And so we're going to start seated, get right on your sits bones. You're going to place that ball and push it out in front of you. Keep your shoulders down, lengthen out, and then bring it back in. Watch low back on this one, and bring it back in. Press it out, and in. Yes, so lengthening low back, glute max, hamstrings, that's it. And just, again, mobilizing the shoulder joint, and in. Good. Out and in. Sit up nice and tall each time you come back up. A little more here. And one more time. Press it out and up. Take the ball. Place it on your right shin. Right hand on the ball. Going to bring that other arm behind you. Sit up nice and tall. And you're going to push that ball out to the side. So press out and up. Press out and up. Exhale, inhale, hinging from the hip joint, keeping the spine nice and long, and out and up, out and up, and 2 more, reach. Good, and 1 more time, out and up, and switching sides. Set the intention, sit up nice and tall, and let's press out and in. So you are rotated a bit from that waistline in the direction of the ball, yeah, but you do want to come back up to the center each time, and don't overdo here, yeah. Nice lengthening exercise, but we want to keep an eye on that low back and the hamstrings, yeah. And out and in, and 1 more time, out and in. Good. All right. Bring the ball back in, and we will come into a prone position. And this will be for spinal extension. So this is going to work the spinal erectors, so the erector spinae there. And we want enough of our torso off of the ball so that we're going to be able to move the torso. You want to find a good stable position. And what you're going to be doing is flexing forward. And when you come up, you're just coming up to an extended position. Yeah. So the arms can do a couple of things. You can come up, we're going to be doing this in a second with rear flies, or you can lift back, yeah, but just watch that you're not going into hyperextension. You can also cross the arms over. Let's keep those glutes engaged, yeah, taking your pick with your arm position. And we don't stay here a real long time. 2 more, and last one, up and down, and just take a little relief there. All right, so next is going to be our scapular retraction or rear flies, okay? And so we're going to have our arms suspended down here, and of course if you've got a lower ball, you're going to be closer to the floor. And you're not going to extend spine here, you're going to keep the spine extended, and you're just going to lift the arms up and down. So I want you to really focus on cracking that egg between the scapula, keeping the head and neck neutral. Yeah, up and down. Exhale and inhale. Lift and down, working rear deltoid and trapezius. And let's shoot for 4. Yeah, and 3. Good, 2. And 1 more. Good. Now we're going to reposition slightly here and get the hips a little bit more in the apex of the ball. So a little bit more of your hips on there because the legs need to be off of the floor. You're going to have your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, and we're gonna be lifting a leg up and down. So we'll start with unilateral and then we'll go to bilateral. Watch the height, make sure you're not throwing the leg. Use, in this case, your left buttock, so left glutes, and 3, 2, and then switch sides. Lift the other up, keep the shoulders packed. Be mindful of your lower back here. Good. Lift up and down. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to alternate and we're going to start relatively slow. We're going to start to add a little bit more momentum here, yeah, and get those legs going. Keep them nice and rigid and long, and let's go 8, 7, 6, and it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, so from this position, we're going to walk out a little bit further, more than likely getting more on the thighs or the shins, as this is going to be push-ups on the ball. So take your pick, thighs or shins, find your plank position, probably hands a little wider than your mat, and we're going to come down and up. That's it, getting pectoralis, deltoids, and triceps. Good, good. And up, inhale and exhale, straight down and straight up. Good. 4, 3, good, 2, and 1. Well done. Carefully walk back, make sure you touch those toes first. Okay. And how are we doing so far, guys? All right. Then we're going to come on over to the back and into a shoulder bridge position. So glute bridge, okay, in general you've got your, your hips up here. When we go into a shoulder bridge, we're going to come a little bit further onto the shoulder itself. So the ball needs to be out. Now if this is an issue for your low back, then keep it closer, okay? You can hold on to the edges of the mat. And we're going to press out. And we're going to lift one leg and down, and then the other and down. Up and down, and lift and lower. Let's go 4 and up. Good, 2 and 1 more. Good, carefully lower down, bring the ball back in, and you'll actually feel that in the back of the arms and the triceps as you push down hard into the floor. Rock and roll up again, and we'll come over to a side position with that stability ball and go through our side hip series with the stability ball. So here you have a couple of options. Some folks like to come all the way down with these and lift and lower. I prefer to be up on the ball, and it does change the joint angle slightly. It's a little bit more difficult from this position, but you take your pick, shoulders down, rib cage lifted, navel to spine, nice rigid leg, and let's lift up and down, up and down. Exhale and inhale, lift and lower. So working the gluteus medius minimus here, up and down, of course working it on the opposite side to stabilize. Yes, good. Lift and down. And we're going to add those small circles. Again, we do this in our total body mat Pilates from the floor without that ball. Yeah. And it's 4, 3, 2, and reverse and around. Working on that mobility at the hip joint. Yes, and it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to bring toes forward, heel back. Flex the hip, then extend it. Forward and back, and forward and back. 4 to go. Up and press back, forward and back. 2 more, forward and back, and last one, forward and back. And lower that leg down, and let's switch sides. And repeat this series on the other side. Second side's usually a little more challenging. Elevated on the ball. Nice long leg there, as though you're between 2 panes of glass. And let's lift up and down. So really set your intention. Really keep the spine stacked. The shoulders pack down. Use that breath. Really feel that neuromuscular sequencing. Yes. Exhale and inhale. Lift and down. Up and down. Good. Now let's add those circles. Try to stay as stable as possible. Really anchor into that ball. Yes. Good. That's it. Good. And reverse direction. Bring it around. Keep using that breath. Yes. Good. And it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now point forward and flex back. Forward and flex back. Good. Front and back. Flex the hip, then extend it. 3. Good. 2. And 1 more. In and out. And come down. Good job. All right, guys. So we will come into our stretch position. So what we're going to start with is a prone spinal stretch. I'm just going to have you lying over the ball in what we call traction. And just let yourself completely relax there. It's going to relax between the vertebrae there. And you don't want to stay in this position for very long, yeah? And then we'll come back up. And what we're going to do here is you're going to flex that left leg. Reach back with the left hand and grab that foot, pant leg, or shoe. And just hold. So we want to press the front of the hip down into the ball and feel that stretch in your hip flexors, quads, shins, top of foot. And release. And I always advise you to bend the leg first. Get the position established. Grab foot, pant leg, or shoe. Never force it. And just hold. Push the front of the hip down into the ball. Hip flexors, quad, shins, top of foot. And release. All right. And then we're going to have a seat on the ball. And again, what we'll be doing through the weeks is expanding our repertoire here on the ball. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, yeah? So just getting us kind of accustomed to working with the ball and then really starting to add some real serious work to our protocols here. So sit up nice and tall, legs are nice and far apart. Deep inhale here, reach it up tall. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, melt down to the floor. Now if you can't quite touch the floor, hold the shins and let the head suspend down. Keep your head down, place one hand at a time on your thighs, and roll up your back, bone by bone, bring your head up very last. Bring your feet in about shoulder distance apart. Sit up nice and tall, and bring that right heel out in front of you. Inhale, and as you exhale, hinge from the hips, think out, not down. Now bring your arms down by your sides and interlace fingers, knuckles to the ground, and open up the chest and the front of the shoulders as you stretch the glute and the hamstring and calf. And then release. Let's bring that left leg out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, hinge from the hips, think out, not down. Hold your stretch to point of tightness. This time, interlace fingers, knuckles away. Pull the scapula apart, drop the shoulders down, and chin to chest. And then draw the arms back in and back in with your leg. Take your right foot and cross it above your left knee, sitting up nice and tall, stretching those hip abductors. So opening up the outer upper hip, those muscles you just worked. Yeah. And release and switch sides. Cross the foot over, sit up nice and tall. Open that outer hip. Good, good. And release. And then we're going to go through some mobilization of the hip. So we're just going to rotate. Yeah, just using that pelvis, rotating it, then reverse direction, loosen up that low back, yeah. Good, now let's tuck under and then go back to neutral. So when you do this, you don't want to arch, you want to tuck the pelvis underneath and then put it back into your neutral spine. Tuck it under and put it back. Tuck it under and put it back. And one more, tuck under and put it back. Then we're gonna shift the hips to the right and to the left, yeah? To the right and to the left, to the right and to the left, and a couple more, to the right and to the left, and then hop off that ball and come back down. And let's put the side of the body on here, hand down on this one, and reach that arm up and over and lengthen out the side of the torso. Good. And release it back up and switch your sides. Hip on, hand down, arm over. And stretching armpit all the way down the side of that torso. And release. Then let's finish off with a chest expansion. So I'm going to have you come onto the ball in a seated position to begin. And we're going to walk out until you get the head on the ball. And it is important to make sure you've got the head resting on the ball and the buttocks up so you don't strain the low back, okay? And then we're just going to let those arms fall out to the side and just really expand the chest. So really counter all of that anterior upper body movement that we perform every day, and get that chest open, taking a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale and exhale. And then bring the head up, put the hands back on the ball, walk yourself up, and then on to hands and knees. Let's finish off with a nice child pose here. So we're gonna push back, just walk the ball out and sit back and just hold. And then come back up. Let's push the ball out to your right. Now keep your right hand on and turn and reach slightly with that left arm. Yeah. And bring it back up and to the other side. First push back. Then keep the left hand on and just turn and open slightly here. Come back to the center and all the way back up. Have a seat, and let's finish off with a deep inhale here. Reach up tall and exhale. Rotate your shoulders back. Awesome work, you guys. I'm excited to build on this program and really create a real intense program for you. Today, just wanted to introduce you to working with the ball. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.